One of the things too I remembered, his grandfather would say he would pray in our language, the Lakota language. I didn't know at the time, but our grandmother, she took us to Catholic church. We go every Sunday to church. But I didn't get it. Why? The reason why I was going to church. All these statues. Those statues feared me. I was scared of them. But I just continued to go with them to church. As time went on and going to school, government school, a lot of the non-Indian teachers, we spoke our language. I remember one time, I can't speak my language. They would slap me in my hands. But I never told that to my grandparents or anyone. I just kept it to myself. So struggling in school, it was really hard for me because I couldn't speak English well. And the subjects, it was pretty hard for me. Until these years went by, grandmother passed away in 1968. Grandfather died in 1970. I didn't know that our grandmother, she was diabetic. And our grandfather died of double pneumonia. I shared a lot of visits and talks with my grandparents. And one of the things that they really put us on thinking about is God. And we all have to pray. And talked about the good and the bad ways. We choose that life. And I can recognize God and Satan. And growing up with the female, there was a lot of grandmas and a lot of older men, grandpas, taught us these values. The values, the respectful ways, we have to have manners. I can remember I remembered this woman, she used to gossip. She lived next door. Where we lived below the hill, there was about 4 families living. And we were the only one that were poor. We lived in a log house. But this lady, she likes to gossip. So the 2 sisters, our mother's mother and her sister, talked about it. They were going to invite her. So they made a meal. And I had to leave. When there's adults visiting, I had to leave. So I was told to go outside. They scolded her not to gossip, because she would have enemies. And soon after that, they fed her, they prayed with her, and they fed her, and they let her go home. And I saw her wiping her tears, lifting her apron. Those is the teaching that I've seen. And the women are more stricter. As for me, I had to learn at the age of 5. My grandmother would say, you stand here and you watch. Back in the day, there was no measurements in cooking, baking. So my grandmother would taught us. And she always say, a woman's job is never done.
Yeah.
So that's what she mentioned. And, tanning hides, at an early age, she would, because tanning hides from deer, because we really ate a lot of deer meat. With that hide, we use it for moccasins. So growing up, I wore moccasins and a lot of things that Grandpa shared, respectful male role models. They would hunt, provide the food, the medicines, the herbs, the wild fruits, wild vegetables. He would go out and he'll show me. And he'll show me every herb is what's to use to keep us healthy if we're sick. And you have to have belief system. And that's how we stayed well. So when time went on, it's like both of them passing on. Like grief. Times went on that a lot of things I didn't realize. As a child, being victimized, I didn't know. Never told my grandparents, our mother, no one. And I started to feel of it. I set my boundaries. And as I started to get older in teenage years, I started to use. I didn't care. I just never shared what I went through, the traumas. I just kept it to myself. And I started to act out. And in and out of relationships. My firstborn. And my secondborn. The fathers didn't have nothing to do with me. They used me. So my life went on, and my third relationship was my first time being married, and there were 3. And of course I married a white man. And I had 3 children with him. In 1990 he passed on. And he was older than me. And with those 3 children, and my second oldest altogether, and my youngest altogether, I have 17 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. And my second marriage was with the second marriage was my 6th child. I wasn't supposed to have any children. After sobering up and being ill with cancer, doctors, I was told that I can't conceive. But meeting my second husband, my 6th child came along. And our marriage didn't work, so, I divorced him. And before that divorce, I went to treatment. I went to 2 treatments and had relapse. And I couldn't figure out why I was using. I used drugs and alcohol to cover my pain. And I was ashamed. But the 3rd treatment, I did therapy. And finding out being abused, neglect, being victimized, that I carry all this, not getting help. And I became who I am, was an alcoholic. And now, finding that treatment, I learn how to use the tools. Finding myself, I have to ask forgiveness and have God in my life and let go. Let go of all the hurts and pain that people that hurted me. And today, it'll be November 9th, will be 22 years sobriety. And before our mother died, I forgot one thing was our culture. I never knew of Sweat Lodge or Sundance until I met my second husband. He was Sundancer. So my second husband, he had Sundance down in Liligo, South Dakota, over by Grandpa Joe Flying By. That's where he danced. So our mother and our dad's sister and myself, we went down there. As we were going, she said, you have to support him. So when we pulled up, got off the vehicle, and she said, take everything that's man-made before you go to the arbor. And she said, looked in the car and said, grab that blanket, wrap yourself. As you're going up to the arbor, walk gently, slow. And I could smell of the sage, that it was incense that was burning. Sage, I could smell the cedar. And it felt so good. As I was walking slowly, every step I walked, it was a different change in my life. I felt so good, that joy. And as I got closer to the arbor, it was just like bam, just like a big thunder. It was just like a different scenery. Like I was awakened, and I looked around. This is what I've been looking for. Because in the past, when I was trying to sober up, I went to these churches, Christians. I go to church. I wanted instant healing, but no. It was like power and control. Can't do this, can't do that. But finding the Sundance, our culture is a way of life, and I wasn't told that. Our grandparents didn't tell us that. It was a hush hush. Because through all this, the high power of our, I should say, the government, all the neglect and abuse, this is why I just kept quiet. Now that I'm sober, realizing things, and that I'm 61, an elder, I'm realizing a lot of things. My life is important. My life is important today on this earth. That I want to live the best way I can without alcohol and drugs. Because our people are using drugs and alcohol and this bad drug called meth is destroying our people, young and old. And our future generations is coming. That our children are affected by it. I know I make mistakes. You know, I have a few older children that are FAS, ADHD, that affect our children. And I'm seeing it all over the world. It's power and control. One of the things that they're forgetting is God. God created all of us. We're His children. All living things are being hurt by digging everything out of it. Energy. And we're all messed up. All because of money. Today is all material things. And as for myself, material things don't matter. Life is. And I wanted to share this to all of you out there. What we were taught by our ancestors, the ancient ones. They sacrificed for us. And now it's us. And all I'm seeing is beauty, jealousy, power and control. And today what's happening is the people, the high authority, forgetting who they are. And they have families too. They're forgetting where they're coming from.